when I close my eyes, or swim and run on the playgrounds in my mind. I am tall and strong and able, I can chase my fears away when I live inside a brand new sunny day.
People with disabilities have to live their lives in a certain way. Their habits may seem quirky or foreign to others. Menial tasks can become a challenge. Coping with any disability involves more than just learning alternative ways to accomplish tasks. It means that people with disabilities must also find ways to develop self-assurance and courage to go out into the world and live their lives to the fullest. Join us for fun and education as we give ordinary able-bodied people a chance to try on a disability. We hope that after you watch this presentation, you will be able to see people with physical or mental challenges as people first and their disability last. We also believe that if you understand the disability, you will be more empathetic and are more likely to include someone with a disability in your circle of friends. When individuals have a decreased sense of touch or strength in their hands, everyday tasks become a challenge. In many cases, they are not visibly disabled. People tend to look at them strangely and sometimes think of them as stupid when they have a difficult time performing a straightforward task. When a person is newly disabled, it may take a great deal of time to figure out ways of doing the simplest things.
Good morning. Hi, I'm Gail. What's your name? Liam. So Liam, we're going to practice a little bit about what it feels like to have some disabilities, right? Okay. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to put on some mitts and pretend it's hard for you to feel things. That's called lack of sensation. Do you want to put those on? You'll see they're really, really thick. Yeah. And then we're going to try and get you to do some things that you can probably do really easy without the mitts. And we'll see how it feels with you putting them on. How do they feel?
Heavy.
You got to talk to me as we go through this and tell me how everything feels, okay? So they feel heavy?
Yes.
And are they thick? Okay.
Very.
So can you pick up the little blue wallet? How did that feel? Is that how you'd always pick it up, kind of like that? Is that what you know?
I'd use my fingertips.
Yeah. Well, how come you didn't use your fingertips?
Because I don't have any fingertips.
Oh, interesting. Okay, so could you get some money out of there for us? How does that feel?
Kind of the same.
So you'd have to dump it out. So you'd have to have somewhere to dump it out if you were doing this, right?
Yeah.
If this was how your hands were? Okay. So Liam, could you pick up the rest of the money now and put it back in the purse?
Okay.
The wallet?
It's going to be harder because I don't have much friction with my fingers, so
Okay.
it'll be hard to get the money in.
So you might have to carry a bigger wallet maybe?
Yeah, I guess.
But then it'd be hard to get in your, would it be hard to get in your pocket?
Yeah, it would.
Okay. And then, so now if we were standing in the store paying for something, how would you be feeling right now, do you think?
Kind of rushed
Rushed?
because I'd be the one holding everybody up and
Yeah.
a little embarrassed because they'd look at me and be like, what's wrong with you? Why can't you go faster like the rest of us, right?
Right. So it'd be a little awkward, I guess, eh?
Yeah.
Okay. How about if we try with the keys now? So there's your keys, okay? Now let's pretend you just got home, you gotta go to the bathroom, it's raining, and you gotta get the door open. Quick, quick, quick. Quick.
This key.
No, the bigger one. I think it's the one with the red.
Oh,
That one, okay?
this key.
You gotta open the door, remember? You gotta go to the bathroom. Okay. How do you think that would work?
It would be hard because even when I'm wearing like snow gloves, really fluffy
Yeah.
snow gloves, it's hard to turn the knob.
The knob's slippery, isn't it?
Yeah, so
Yeah,
it would be even
so-
harder if I had.
A special doorknob might be a good idea. Somebody should have meant
Yeah.
that. Okay. All right. do with those on is get you to take one cup,
Okay.
just one. Now, remember, while you're doing this, imagine yourself at a picnic with some of your friends and kind of just do it just the way you would in that situation. And keep telling us how you're feeling as we're going.
It's difficult. You can't really get the cups open, get the cup because they're really tight together, and I feel kind of embarrassed with my friends, like, because I wouldn't.
I can't quite hear you.
I wouldn't be able to get the cup off, and I would feel embarrassed.
Embarrassed.
Can I use my teeth?
You could do whatever you like. You're going to drink out of it. So how would you be feeling right now if everybody was waiting for a drink?
Embarrassed.
Embarrassed? Yeah. Do you think you'd ask for help, or would you want to do it
Probably.
yourself? You would ask for help, and
Ask
you're okay with that?
if
Good
I
for you.
Had this, yeah.
Oh, there you go. You got it.
I got
Okay,
it.
perfect. That's great. Okay, so we're going to get you to pour some water in there.
Okay.
From, yeah. Seemed like it almost fell over.
Yeah, it could fall over if it wasn't on a sturdy.
Okay. So if you were doing it on the grass
It
at the
would
picnic.
probably fall.
Yeah, so another.
Yeah.
So go ahead and have a drink. Is that normally how you pick up a cup
No.
at the picnic, is like this?
No.
No, so how would you
I
normally
would
pick it up?
usually pick it up.
Go ahead and
like
try that. No,
that.
no, just do it the way you normally would. So what if that cup wouldn't squeeze in? What do you think would have happened?
I would probably have slipped and fallen.
Yes. And then how would you feel?
Embarrassed.
Embarrassed.
Yeah.
And do you think you could do anything? What would be something that would make this situation easier?
If it had a handle.
That would be a good idea,
Yeah.
wouldn't it? Yeah. It'd have to be a pretty big handle to go
Yeah.
over these, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this kind of problem, not being able to really feel things and get a good grip of them, could affect a lot of things
Yeah.
that you do every day, all day long,
Yeah,
couldn't it?
definitely.
Yeah. And how you feel about doing
Yeah.
it, right? Do you think your friends would be understanding of that?
I think if they knew, they probably would. And they'd probably try to help. But
If
otherwise,
they didn't know?
if they didn't know, they'd probably kind of be like, "What's on? Why? What's like? Is there anything going on? Like, you know?" Or they might be, like, "What's wrong with you?" Kind of like, you know. why
Can you
can't
imagine perhaps somebody getting teased in that kind of situation of people?
Definitely.
That would be hard,
in
wouldn't it?
school, and it would be sad, horrible.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you. That's great.
When one of the upper limbs does not work, then many everyday tasks become difficult. Normally, a person uses one hand to stabilize an object and the other hand to do the task. Alternate ways must be tried. People who can think outside the box are needed to help solve some of these challenges. Even though you may have lost the use of one upper limb, you can learn to lead a very useful and independent lifestyle with the help of adaptive materials and support.
So Diane, this morning we're going to practice what it would be like to only have the use of one arm, as if perhaps you'd had a stroke or something like that. So what we're going to do is make it so you can't use your dominant arm. Which one do you write with?
I'm right-handed.
Okay, so let's put this arm down, and we're just going to tie that against your body so that you're not going to be tempted to be a two-armed person right now.
Okay.
If that's okay. And we'll just tie that up. Okay, so that looks nice and snug. Make sure you try not to use that. So what we're going to do again is get you to take the lid off of your medication. It's time to take your medication for the day.
Okay.
And then as we go, Diane, remember to tell us how you're feeling, okay?
Well, I can't open it, and I need this medicine now?
Well, it's time to take it. So this is your anti-seizure medication. So it's time. You have to take that. So you're
But
going to have to get that pill bottle.
There's
out.
no way. I can't, and I would be like, I'm terrified, scared.
So what would you do?
Try to call somebody. I'm not sure. But there's no way.
Oh, it sounds like you've got it.
Well, but I can't.
Okay.
Oh,
Well, then it's a good thing we can get it in a blister pack, isn't it?
yeah, thank God for that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I can't.
You can't possibly get it open?
No,
Okay.
I can't.
So you'd either have to get somebody to live with you, or you'd have to get the medicine in a different way, or somebody at least to be here.
Definitely, I could never. I can't imagine.
So taking your pills on your own wouldn't be an option with this bottle.
Never in
Okay.
a million years.
Well, we can get blister packs for you.
Oh, please.
Okay. So what we're gonna do is get you to put some jam on a piece of toast for your breakfast. And of course, using just one hand. So go ahead, and as you do that, make sure you're telling us how you're feeling, how you're feeling in your heart, in your head, and in your body. Go ahead.
Okay, all right. So there's the toast. And, okay. Now, this is a bit of a challenge. And well, that's
So you
all I
have
can
to
think of.
improvise and use another part of your body, right?
Exactly, it's the only way. Okay.
And that works.
Well,
A napkin would have been good, I suppose.
well, yeah, but now,
So how does that feel?
it feels a little bit uncertain here. Not,
I know for me it's very awkward because I want to help you.
well, I want to do it myself. I think I could figure this out. Oh,
Okay,
there's
you got a
some.
little bit.
Yeah,
So now what's going to happen when you try to spread it?
it's gonna start moving all around. And let's just be
How long does it normally take you to put jam on toast?
a second or two.
Okay.
But this
We'll
is a
see how long this takes.
little bit more time consuming.
How would you feel if we were doing this in a restaurant right now?
Oh, I can only imagine. Don't look at me. People don't understand. I would feel very embarrassed, I think. Or, I don't think I'd like it, that's all.
So would you go to a restaurant to eat breakfast then, or would you just maybe stay at home or go through a drive-through, or?
I might probably stay at home.
So do you think then maybe you'd have less of a social life if you just had, if you had this kind of a limitation?
Probably.
Yeah. So it's probably really important to overcome some of that stigma, right? Find new ways to do it and work through some of these situations.
I would have to really find a way to do that. People aren't very understanding, so
Okay.
to move it.
So the way you're used to having your toast and the way you can have your toast now is a little bit different?
Very different.
Yeah. How does that feel?
Some getting used to. But I did it.
You did it. A little messy, a little
Yeah.
longer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sticky.
So how would that make you feel if you were sitting in a restaurant doing that?
I'd be really embarrassed.
You'd be embarrassed?
Very.
Yeah. And can you think of anything that you could possibly say to the restaurant person that might have made this easier for you?
Well, maybe the jam could be like in something different, or
There is a special plate for people that have limited use of their arms or hands, and it's this special little plate here. So do you want to, I don't want to touch your toast in case you do decide to eat it. So now take the knife and just finish putting the jam on it. There's still some jam in there. You want to get it all, right? You don't want
Yes.
to waste it because you're on a pension,
yes,
right?
that's right. Not every little bit helps.
So, and maybe tell us how it feels different to use that plate.
Oh, it's got edges. It holds it in place for me.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's better.
It's better.
Oh, wonderful. I can spread it all over,
Okay.
and it's not moving all around.
So it feels better task-wise, right? To have that plate. Okay, so now tell me, Diane, when you go out and you're all dressed up and you have a date and you bring your little plastic blue plate to the restaurant, how does that feel?
Well, I'd feel a lot better getting the jam on the toast instead of on my date.
This is true, yeah. So you're okay with that, taking it out?
I think I would feel a lot better and more confident with having,
So that's good. So it's a matter of learning to compromise and saying, this is what's important.
yes.
And yeah, this is how I have to make it happen.
I-
Excellent.
I think this would help me a great deal.
Good. That's great. That's good.
For some people, just a few inches may make a difference between independence and dependence. It can be very difficult for some people with muscle weakness or lack of movement to get up or sit down on a standard chair or toilet seat. The height of the chairs can make a difference between being able to get up and down without assistance. Grab bars in bathrooms and vehicles are essential tools to assist people. The more assistance a person needs, the less control they have of their life, and the more apt they are to feel useless.
Hi, I'm Gail.
Hi, Gail. I'm Charles.
Charles, very good to meet you. So Charles, you remember you've been briefed a little bit. We're going to talk a little bit about disabilities, what it's
Absolutely.
like to live with a disability.
Yeah.
So the first thing we're going to do is get a sense of what it's like to get down onto a chair that's low
Okay.
for your comfort. And so we thought we'd start with this one here. And I just want you to come over in front of it and just lower yourself onto it.
That is a low chair.
That is a low chair.
Okay.
So how did that sort of feel?
A little bit awkward. Yeah, it's pretty. I'm low down here.
You're low down there, yeah. So if your legs were weaker, how do you think that would feel?
It would be more difficult. Absolutely. It's past the 90-degree kind of comfort.
Okay.
Yeah.
So do you want to show us how you'd get up? Alrighty. A
Okay.
lot easier than I would have. Alrighty. So we're going to redo that, Charles.
Yeah.
Now with the scenario that you have some weakness in your legs, perhaps you have arthritis or something, we're going to give you this leg brace to put on. Which is your dominant leg? Which is your dominant arm?
I'm right-handed.
So maybe put that on your right leg too, because it's probably the stronger leg.
Sure.
And then we'll redo it. Could you do that again? Sit down for us.
Yeah. Let's see what happens.
Okay.
It seems a lot further away than it did a second ago.
Okay.
Okay. And I'm instantly looking for something to grab onto,
Yeah.
and obviously.
Then I'm
there's-
just gonna
and
back up a little bit.
I'm gonna end up dropping down onto this. So yeah, backing up's not a bad idea. So there.
Okay. So how did that feel?
Awkward.
Mm-hmm.
It gets a little bit nervous when you get to a certain point because then you're just free falling,
Right.
and if you miss, then you're in trouble.
So if you were, say, in a toilet stall and
Yeah.
it was lower than you were comfortable with and you miss, it's going to be
And you're in a vulnerable situation.
It
Yeah.
wouldn't be good, would it?
No.
Okay, yeah. So it has all kinds of connotations. Try and get up for us, will you?
Yeah. Again, I'm looking to grab onto something
Yeah.
and nothing's there. And this has got to get right underneath. And then you got to get a momentum forward and then up.
So you're a pretty healthy, strong guy, but if you were maybe another 30 or 40 years older,
If there was any kind of problems with this other leg, it wouldn't be an option.
you'd still be sitting there?
Yeah, even if you had it, well, you wouldn't go down because you'd know that you couldn't get up.
Right.
And if there's any problems in your knee or your muscle isn't healthy as it could be, then it would be a problem.
Okay, all right. So we're going to move this out of the way and we're going to try a couple different things. And I'll bring this one up a little bit. And I just want you to try this for us.
Okay.
This seat will help you to get down. So just sit onto it, if you would, and just put your back just like you're sitting into the chair and let it take you down. How does that feel?
Comfortable.
Yeah, it's kind of helpful.
A lot
eh?
easier. Yeah.
Yeah. And it doesn't look awful. It doesn't look like it's something it would be okay to take out, is it?
It's a little big to be carrying around, but if you can take it out with you and use it, then yeah. It takes away that drop factor, right, where you kind of kept your fingers crossed and hope for the best. You don't have it with this.
Okay, all right. Okay, well, why don't you, now to get out of this, You just want to lean forward and let it help you get up. Don't do all the work yourself, because again, remember, you're disabled. So lean forward.
There, it's pushing you up.
It's pushing you up.
Right up onto your,
So that was
your
really,
good leg.
That was good.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a lot easier than that heave ho at on the stool there.
Right. Now, of course, you couldn't use that on the toilet. That's not going to work, right?
No.
So we're going to move on to this other device here.
Okay.
This lovely little potty seat we have for you.
Yeah.
And so again, now this is adapting that first scenario where you were going really low. That's kind of what it's like for a person with difficulties with their legs to get onto a regular toilet seat. This is more like what it would be if they had this adaptation. So do you want to sit down into that and tell us how it feels?
Sure. It's nice to have the handles
It's nice
right
to-
away. Yeah,
okay.
that's.
All right.
And the use of the handles, I guess, would be dependent on using your upper body. So hopefully you've got good upper body as well, because that really eases you into the seat. But because it's raised, again, that drop factor is gone. So.
Okay.
Most people who are hearing impaired aren't totally deaf. They have partial hearing. But even partial hearing loss is devastating to language development and clear communication with others. Hearing only fragments of words is frustrating as well as misleading and could result in negative consequences. Hearing impairment also affects balance. People with a hearing impairment can look drunk to others because they may stagger in an effort to keep their balance. The old term deaf and dumb describes the frustration of people with partial hearing loss and the frustration of those around them. We associate speech with intelligence. If you can't speak, the person you are communicating with will think in the back of their mind that you are stupid. In reality, the brain of a deaf person is not any different from anyone else's. But over time, auditory memory does not develop. Ask the hearing impaired person how you can help. Should you write something down? Does signing help? Learn about alternative communications, and if possible, learn them yourself, because any of your attempts will demonstrate that you care. Be guided by the cues of the person with hearing loss. Assume nothing about intelligence by their lack of language expression. This misunderstanding often happens to hearing impaired people.
I'm standing here with Deborah, and she's going to help us to demonstrate a hearing impaired disability, correct?
Okay, yes.
So we're going to just let you know that we have put something on the bottom of one of her shoes to help her balance be off a little bit, because that happens when you have hearing difficulties. And we're just going to ask you to put on these lovely little earplugs. So can you still hear me? Can you still hear me? No, you can't hear me?
I can hear you a little
A
bit.
little bit, okay. And that's the case with most people that have a hearing impairment. Most people have a little bit of hearing. So one of the things we're going to first get you to do is just walk around the chair a couple times. Can you do that? And just tell us how it feels as you're doing it.
It's a lot shakier than I thought it was going to be.
That's interesting.
Okay, my heart is
Pounding?
racing
Okay.
because it does. I don't feel grounded at all. It's amazing that it's very wobbly.
Oh,
Feeling very insecure.
are you? Okay. Can you hear me if I say my name is Gail?
Can you say that just a little bit louder, please?
My name is Gail. Can you hear that?
Okay, yes.
Okay. All right. And tell us your name again.
Deborah.
Deborah, okay. And Deborah, I wonder if you could just go over and pick up the glass of water over here beside the light.
Say that one more time.
Deborah, could you pick up the glass of water by the light?
Okay, now I'm already shaking.
So that felt kind of awkward?
Yes, it did.
Yeah.
And I'm nervous about whether I could walk with it and not tip and spill, because I don't really feel the least bit stable on my feet.
Some of the things that are difficult, I guess, I understand for people that have hearing impairment are certain sounds. And so I'm just going to get her, say something for you to write down. We'll see how that goes, okay? So do you want to put, oh, what's that saying? The lazy brown fox jumps over the fence or something like that? The lazy brown fox? That's very interesting. So she's written down the lady brown box jumped over defense. Very interesting, eh? What she heard and what I said. Close, but you can certainly see that the communication makes a difference.
And I can feel the energy running through me that's very nervous. It doesn't feel like I'm really
Communicating?
here with you and getting everything that I'm supposed to do. So there's some I feel insecure.
So you don't feel like we're having the typical communication that you're used to?
Not at all.
Okay.
I have very acute hearing. This is quite strange.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I feel awkward speaking to you so loudly, because I think, you know, we tend to, I think sometimes we tend to think that people that are hard of hearing aren't so smart, and obviously that's not true. So how do you think people might perceive you that way if you were hard of hearing or had a hearing impairment?
If this is how I could hear, then I could see how people would think I was low in intelligence, because I feel like that. I don't feel like I'm getting all the information anymore.
Interesting. So can you think of some?
I feel like I have like nasal congestion. It sounds very strange inside my head even.
Yeah.
How would you feel if you woke up one morning and realized you would have to spend the whole day as a blind person? Imagine what it would be like to find some clothes to wear. Imagine what it would be like to go through your other morning chores and get out into the public to follow your daily routine. It might be pretty scary, and you may choose to stay inside the safety of your home. If you saw a person dressed in business clothes, carrying a suitcase and a white cane, you may automatically make assumptions about that person's disability, rather than about who they are or what they are capable of. If you do happen to see a blind person who appears lost or needing help, speak directly to them and start by introducing yourself. Ask them if you can help them in some way. Do not grab them by the arm or assume that you know what they need. You would be amazed how many blind people have encountered well-meaning persons who help them across the street, when in actual fact, they wanted to go the other way. When a group of people are sitting around chatting to one another, how does the blind person know who is being spoken to? Make sure you address people by name when you are in social settings. When you meet a blind person you know, introduce yourself again. It just makes it easier for them to figure out who you are.
So the first thing we're going to do, can you get a sense of where the table is? The first thing we're going to do is we're going to get you to take these cups apart. Can you find the cups? And just take one off. Tell me how you're feeling. How does that feel? Is it kind of
dumb.
You feel dumb?
Yeah.
Oh, why is that?
Gutsy. Because you can't really know where anything is.
Okay. So now you're going to need to set that down somewhere safe on the table. And then I'm going to need you to find the jug and pour yourself a little bit of water. How do you feel right now?
Kind of klutzy.
Kind of klutzy.
Yeah.
What would you feel like if your friends were watching you?
Embarrassed.
Would you?
Yeah.
Okay. Good job.
It didn't spill, did it?
Not yet. You're doing a great job. Now you want to have a little drink of that. Sorry, I guess the mask is too big, but we get the idea.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead and set that down. Alrighty. Now, could you just make sure that the cups and the jug are off to the side so we could do our next thing?
I'm gonna spill it.
How does this feel?
Scary.
Scary? Okay, and then we want to get the jug out of the way too. Good job. What do you think it would feel like to do that all the time for everything you do?
Scary.
Yeah.
Like scared that I'm gonna spill, and then I wouldn't know that I spilled, and then I'd slip, and then I'd hurt myself.
What would it be like to do that at school in the cafeteria?
That'd be very embarrassing.
Why would it be embarrassing?
Well, because you're doing stuff that you can't really, that most people can't do, so it's
Is
kind
it-
of, yes, it's hard.
Is it hard to be different?
Yes.
Yeah. So, what if you did spill something on yourself and you wanted another shirt? And so, what's your favorite color?
Green.
Okay. So, if you were to ask me for a green shirt and I gave you this and I said, okay, you can go in the bathroom now and put that on. How do you know I've given you a green shirt?
Do I ask you?
Well, you could ask me, but that doesn't mean I'm going to tell you the truth. But I would because I'm nice. But it's kind of scary, isn't it? Because
Yeah.
you don't know what somebody's given you. You'd have to really get to know your clothes to know what shirt it is. Do you know what shirt that is? What's on the front of it?
Is it an S?
Very good. So shopping might be kind of different if you were blind, hey? Picking out clothes? Yeah. What shirt do you have on?
I have a green one on.
How do you know it's green?
'Cause I put it on earlier, I think.
Okay, all right. Well, that's very good. You did a really good job. Do you like toast?
Yes.
You do? Okay, well, we have some toast here for you and some jam. So, can you find the plate first that we're going to put it on? Okay, and the knife? There's a knife on the table as well. There you go. Okay, so find your piece of toast and a little thing of package of jam. Yeah. How does this feel?
Odd.
Odd. Now, if that jam was open, we'd have a mess, wouldn't we? It's very hard for me not to tell you where it is. But if we're going to pretend that you're on your own,
I
right?
think this is it.
There you
I
go.
hope.
Okay. There's your toast. We're going to try and get you to spread the whole piece of toast with jam if we can.
Ew.
So if you were a person that didn't like to get dirty, then this is a tough one, isn't it?
Yes.
How would this feel like if you were in a restaurant with your family doing this?
Embarrassing.
Embarrassing. Why would you be embarrassed?
I wouldn't exactly know what to do.
Okay, I hate to tell you this, but you really have hardly any jam on it, so we need you to put some more. Can you find that? Okay, so do you want to put all that back on the plate now and maybe clean up your mess a little bit?
I have a giant mess, don't I?
You have a giant...
Do I have a giant mess?
No, not too bad. So how do you think that would be to be a blind person? And-
Difficult. Very, very difficult.
Yeah? Okay. So what are you seeing there? What does it look like?
Well, you can't see anything straight ahead, and everything in the peripheral area is blurry. You can see some things. Colors don't seem to be obscured, but definitely can't see straight ahead, that would be very frustrating.
Uh-huh. It would, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
It might definitely be difficult to drive.
You wouldn't be able to drive. Better not be driving.
Okay, the next one is cataracts. Tell
Okay.
us what that looks like.
This one is a fog. It's like driving in the fog.
Uh-huh.
You see lights, nothing else really. It's just a gray misty fog. Whitish misty fog, I should say. It's
So
just
you
like
know
fog. It looks
something's
exactly
there,
like
but
fog.
you're not sure.
Sure, just
There's
only
no
lights.
clarity?
Only
Okay.
lights you can see.
Okay. Frustrating, eh?
Yeah.
Okay. And then the next one is glaucoma. How does that look and how does that feel? What's the
You
limitation?
can see, it's exactly the opposite of the macular degeneration. You can see straight ahead and nothing around it.
Okay.
You can see lights, you can see faces, but only when you look right at them.
Okay.
You know. So
So you wouldn't be able to turn and see me. There's no peripheral vision.
no, you'd have to turn your
Totally.
eyes. You'd have to.
Okay.
Oh, with the card you can't rotate. So you
Yeah.
have to look straight at people
Yeah.
to see them.
Okay. And the next one, diabetic retinopathy, I think it's pronounced.
Diabetic retinopathy.
Alrighty.
Okay.
Well, if we can say it, we can try it on.
This one is very fragmented. It's like a piece of marble, kind of, and you can see through parts of it, and the white spots are obscured. You can see, but there's a lot of it. Only about half, not even half, of what you would
So
normally be
keep
able
that
to
on
see.
there.
Okay.
And could you just read me the very top line here? On the very top of the card right there.
Take a look. Trying to find a better spot in the view path here. Experience for yourself has how vision is altered by different type problems, conditions.
Conditions, good. So if you were a person that had any kind of tremor, that would really be tough to keep it in the right place, wouldn't
It
it?
certainly would.
Yeah. And then the last one, which is total blindness. Do you want to read anything for me? What do you think?
I don't think you can. I can't read anything. It's just white. It's
Just-
not black like you might think it would mean to be blind. It's just gray. You know there's light. Where there's dark, you can see that it's dark, and even when you look right at a light, it's no lighter.
Interesting.
It's just there's a general white gray look about it. But like I say, when you turn to the black, then it gets really dark. So it's just a matter of daylight or darkness. That's all we can really tell.
Okay.
Mental illness can affect people by providing them with feelings of isolation and segregation, or living in their own world. They may not believe that they are in their own world, however the people around them do. When someone is hearing voices, it makes it hard to interact with others. A lot of times, these voices can be stilled with medication, and people can lead fairly normal lives. Hearing voices may make it very difficult to concentrate on the conversation or focus on the task at hand. This inability to concentrate on the conversation will probably lead to isolation and withdrawal from society.
So we're going to talk now a little bit about what it's like for people that have different mental health issues that are dealing with the day-to-day difficulty of hearing voices as they go through just their normal tasks. So what we're going to do is get Michelle to put on these headphones. I'll hold that for you if you like. And we've got some voices very typical of what a person with those kind of issues would hear, and we're just going to try and have a little short conversation. So do you want to turn that on?
Okay.
And just one sec. We're going to just be a couple people that haven't seen each other in a long time. We're going to meet in the store, and we're just going to see how that plays out, and how much of it how well that goes.
Okay, ready?
Okay, well, good to see you. I haven't seen you in so long. How are you doing?
I'm
I'm doing really well. How have you been?
I'm very good. I'm very good. Where are you working
Yeah,
now?
that's right.
I'm
dirt
working
shirt
in real
alert.
estate. I'm working
Dirt
for
shirt
Sutton.
alert.
I'm working
jerk.
in Langley. Where
Slow
are
down.
you?
Now slow down.
I still
Slow
work in
down.
Maple Ridge.
Slow
Yeah, I'm
down.
still helping people
Slow
find
down.
jobs. Yeah, yeah. And how many kids do you have now?
Hey, you
No
smell like
kids.
skunk.
No kids.
Yeah, great.
You,
Garbage.
Did you have kids?
You
I
stink.
do. I have 3 kids and I have 4 grandkids.
Stinky, stinky, stinky.
I do, yeah.
That's good.
Dirt.
That's good. So
Shirt.
living
alert,
in Maple
jerk.
Ridge.
Wipe that
Are you
smirk
okay?
off your
Yeah,
face.
yeah.
Okay. All right. That's good.
I'm good. I'm good. So
Could you give me
You
your
think this is
your
funny, don't you?
Could you give me your telephone
You
number?
think this is some kind of joke? It's not
yeah.
a joke.
You have a pen? I'll write
Not
it down
a
for you.
joke.
Just tell me. I have a
Oh,
really good memory.
okay. It's
You idiot.
604
This is not a joke.
888
Go ahead, try to do something.
3738.
Try to do something right. You
And
can't.
I'll give you mine. Okay.
Piece of
I'm
crap.
sorry?
4. Would you like mine?
They smell you.
Yeah.
I smell you.
Can you text it? Can you text it to me? Because
Oh,
I won't remember it.
No?
All smell you all over
So what else is
town.
new in your life?
They know what you did.
I'm sorry.
They know what you
What
did.
else is new for you these days?
And it doesn't go away. It doesn't
Same
go
old,
away.
same old.
Doesn't
you know,
hide.
just
You can't
work as
hide.
much as I can, and yeah,
Hey,
it's good.
listen to
And do
me.
you still live in Surrey?
Oh, it's over.
You looked really anxious.
Oh my goodness.
Okay. Well, let's chat a little bit about that. That was really awkward, wasn't it?
Oh wow, I've never experienced anything like that. That was
I felt-
shocking.
I felt bad for her because I could see she was horribly uncomfortable. Could you give us a sense of what you were
Oh, I
hearing?
feel like I'm gonna cry. That was so awful. Yeah, it was very hard to pay attention, obviously, to what you were saying. Distracting, and just nasty. And there's one point in it where it's what you're hearing is that you smell bad, and so I immediately felt like I needed to step away from you, and yeah, very awful because I was trying to engage and I couldn't. Simple things like my phone number, which I know, I had to think about it a lot to get that number out.
Interesting. I noticed sometimes when you were talking, you kind of flinched like this. What was happening when you were doing that?
It was yelling at me, basically, just like, you're stupid. That was one, and I was like, but it was just loud and sort of taking over my hearing completely.
Interesting.
And so there were moments where I have no idea what you said, and I had to back up and think about where we were in that conversation.
Michelle, what do you think it would be like if this was life every day for you, 24 hours a day?
I can't imagine you would ever get used to it. I can't imagine that it would ever get easier, or that you could tune that out.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how you would function.
Mm-hmm.
I guess you would learn to. It would take longer to do everything, I think.
Longer?
Yeah, well, you'd have to. I kept losing track of our conversation. I mean, imagine trying to read a book or keep track of a movie plot. Well, I'd study. I can't imagine.
Really?
It would take longer, I think, because I had to keep going back in our conversation and sort of playing it again to get to where we were,
Oh, okay.
because I just
Okay.
lost track. Yeah.
So did you feel maybe, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but did you feel sort of a sense of powerlessness or like that you had no control?
Highly anxious, I would say,
okay.
which is of course a powerless feeling.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just wanted you to go away. Really, I was like, could you just leave me alone? I don't know how to answer all your hard questions, like my phone number.
That's interesting. Okay. And lastly, again, as before, could you just share with us sort of give us some other areas of your life where you can see that would be really profoundly detriment?
I
Or a
don't
difficulty.
think there is any area of your life that would not be impacted by that.
Mm.
I can't think of one thing unless it shuts off when you're sleeping. I can't imagine trying to fall asleep. And I, for the first time ever, can understand why somebody who is dealing with that kind of mental illness would take refuge in drugs or alcohol.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if it shut it down, it's just enough to get to sleep.
Interesting.
That was hard.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, well, thank you so much.
Well,
And I appreciate you being willing to take on something like that for us.
thank you, I think.
All right, well, thank you, dear. Come again. Thanks.
The particular obstacle course that is being used in this film was built according to the Building Code of BC. As you can see, there are many areas that are very difficult to get through, and in fact, some are even dangerous. The difficulties and dangers are being compensated by a spotter who's going through the course with the person in the chair. In real life, many people in chairs do not have spotters with them, and as a result, they encounter many dangers in their journey through their day. Architects and legislators may need to spend some time sitting in wheelchairs to determine what the building code should be. They need to ensure that less hazardous routes are created for people in wheelchairs.
Hello, I'm Cliff Calverley. This is the course I designed in 1990, and was spurred on by having a disabled neighbor who had a lot of stamina, and he taught me a lot of respect about people that are disabled. And so in honor of his name, I designed this course. This course is built to the minimum building code standards, of which I wanted to show architects and engineers of the some of the pitfalls of building it as a minimum code requirement. So saying that, I can come through. The first door is a manual door. Okay, it's 36 inches wide. It has to be for a hallway. It's 36 inches wide and has to have a ramp. The ramp can only raise at a certain rate of speed, and it's at that speed. This ramp, the floor has half-inch thresholds in it, of which that is the legal limit. Then when you come down here, now you have to go into the washroom. When you come to the washroom, there again, it's a manual operation, and you have to get the wheelchair in here. Then you have to come in, you have to turn around and get on the toilet. And it's quite a challenge. It looks easy until you try it. So then you have to come in, come out here again, open the door. That's the easy part. And then come around here. Now you come around a corner. Now you have to negotiate a corner in the hallway. And then immediately you have another ramp. So there's quite a challenge at this point. We usually have to help people in this portion. Then when you get to here, then you got all these little half-inch thresholds, and then your reward at the end is an automatic door. So that's what the course is all about. We use it as a training tool. We set it up in malls for children, adults, architects, engineers, anybody that wants to get in a wheelchair and try it. And the comments have been very positive, and there's a whole lot of children in the last 20 years that are now architects that understand what life is like in a wheelchair. Thank you very much. Take care.
Just getting into the doorway here is a bit of a challenge.
You gotta back up at the same time.
You know, I never paid much attention to any of this stuff until my wife broke her leg a little while ago, and she was in a wheelchair for 6 weeks. And I didn't realize just how inaccessible things are to people with restricted mobility. Now that's a bit of a challenge, just getting up that without tipping backwards. Yeah. Whoa, I see what you mean. You know, it's where you have to start to turn that I find kind of interesting. And these.
I must go to the washroom now. Excuse me. Little privacy, please. Oh no. It's a good thing I have shoes on. I'm stuck. Try the other way. Door. It's a good thing there's no lock on that. Okay. And these people gotta be very, very skilled to do this efficiently, especially if you really have to go. And I'm almost there. Oh, rest time before I get on the toilet. Do I get on the toilet? Should I attempt? And I've done my business, so that's great. I think I need rubber things. Bump into everything so much. Here I go.
Ooh. Takes some experience to maneuver these wheelchairs, and I don't have it. Ooh. Oh, on the home stretch. Crash. Oh, well, I didn't need those knuckles.
To fully integrate into a healthy, active, and social lifestyle, it is important to try and create homes that are accessible for people with disabilities. For example, if you are invited to your friend's home, you shouldn't have to give them the third degree to find out if you can actually enter the home. It would be ideal if all homes could be wheelchair accessible, as it is important to have a way to accommodate friends in chairs for gatherings. All municipalities should consider ways of making this easier for people. Many modern advances are not necessarily user-friendly for people with disabilities. For example, many of the machines for debit and credit cards cannot be used by some disabled people, and in many cases it becomes very difficult to conceal PIN numbers or even read the instructions on the machine. There are many issues and walls confronting people with disabilities, even when these disabilities are not readily apparent. One of the biggest challenges that these people face is the lack of understanding and barriers that able-bodied people put up, often without realizing it. Remember, whenever you want to help someone with a disability, always ask them first, "How may I help you?" Let's join together to remove those barriers and help us all to reach our full potential.
One of God's creations, and if you only knew, underneath this label, I'm just the same as you. So when you see me coming, please don't turn the other way. Stop and hear what my song has to say. 'Cause I'm proud and I have hope that we will find a way to all join hands on a brand new sunny day. label. I'm just the same as you. When you see me coming, please don't turn the other way. Stop and hear what my song has to say. 'Cause I am proud and I have hope that we will find a way to all join hands on a brand new sunny day. Yes, I am proud and I have hope we will find a way to stand hand in hand on a brand new sunny day. You can make a difference if you try. Just like a mother eagle shows her young to fly. Spread your wings and aim towards the sky. You can make a difference if you try. You can soar, you can have it all. You can climb the highest mountain and never take a fall. Shoulders back and head held way up high. You can make a difference if you try. Never get discouraged, no, never lose your faith. Stay focused on your destiny and remember God is great.